I don't pay rent and I've not built my own home. I do not have a home somewhere that I have built. Now you can say, oh, Joseph, you're not paying rent because you built. No, I have not built my home. Okay, I'm renting, but I'm not paying the rent. And today I'm going to teach you a very simple concept. By the way, well, I know it is the goal of everyone, including me and you or we, to own a home one day. And there is nothing wrong with building and owning a home. But let's say you do not have the ability and the effort to actualize that. Well, based on how much you earn, or maybe based on how much you have in an investment that you're looking forward to invest. Today and on this video, I'm going to show you exactly how can you hack that thing of you paying the rent each and every day. Whereby, of course, remember what I talked about, that my financial freedom is when you don't have to worry about the money, but you think about it. There's a difference, okay? Now, here we are. Now, the point is this. I got approached one day by a client, a very young guy. He was having around 2.5 million. He was having around 2.5 million. Okay, Kenya shilling. That's like 25,000 US dollars. Well, that's quite of a good of a money here in this country and of Africa, indeed. Now, point is, the guy told me or asked me, hey, you know what, Joseph? Of course, I'm a young guy. I'm at that 4 years. I'm at that, yeah, actually, he was that 4 years because he's older than me by 1.5 years, okay? So he said, I'm that 4 years old and well, I'm a man, of course, and you understand, traditionally, we are supposed to have a home, and I'm looking forward into having my own homes whereby I can be able to settle a family. I said, amazing. What I thought it is. That's quite an amazing one, okay? He told me the dream, blah, 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 but I asked, okay, fine, let's get practical. See, how much do you have for you to actualize? He said, you know what, Joseph, I only have 2.5 million. That is the only money that I have. Okay. Okay. Me having an experience with the construction and what have you, be like, 2.5 million can actually build something, but not quite presentable, but, quite of a thing somewhere, But the guy said, I don't have a land. Oh, I was like, oh my goodness. Now that has changed everything. So you don't have a land, okay? What do you do for a living? I'm a banker. Okay. So you work in the fintech? Yeah, I do. So meaning that you need to access, town and what have you. I said, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, fine. You have 2.5 million. You want to build a home? Yeah, sure, I do. Okay. So first of all, let's think of buying a land because that's the first step that you take. Okay, because there is no way you can ask me how can I get a kid without being pregnant. Okay, fine. I know there's IVF things and what have you. Don't misquote me, okay? But the point is there must be is it infusion or whatever, of a sperm and an ova, okay, whatever. I'm not going the biology way. The point is you have to get the land first. And of course, bearing in mind that you need to access the town, the land that you're talking about, we aren't talking about any land that is below 1 million. Actually, even with the 1 million, you cannot get that quite of high-end property here in this country. You get quite over a distance, 40 kilometers away from the city, or 50, 60, around there. Because honestly, you all know that. You get what I'm saying? So I said, let's talk about buying up a property. And probably the property we're going to get, maybe, let's say it plays around between, say, 1 to 1.5 million. 1 to 1.5 million, okay? Let's even say we settle on the list of 1 million. 1 million, okay? Then, guess how much we're left with? We're only left with 1.5 million. So we have the land, congratulations, we have 1.5 million, so we want us to build a home. So 1 million will get you like 50 by 100. No, guess what happens now? See, if you go ahead and build with 1.5 million, me and you, we can agree, you ain't gonna get yourself quite over. You can't build a dream house unless we just want to have funny things somewhere. No, not really a funny thing, with all the due respect. I'm saying, like, you can't just build something and quite far from where you are. Then if you want to add the rent, the transport, the what have you. No. That's it. Let me go to the point. How don't I pay the rent? This is what I told the guy, and that is what I do. And that's what I'm doing right now, okay? First of all, you ask yourself, how much are you paying for the rent? I asked the guy, how much are you paying for the rent? The guy told me, I am paying 13,500 for my rent. Okay, you're paying 13,500 for your rent. Okay, fine. So the first thing that you need to do, or the first thing I did, is to calculate my rent. Oh, guys, you want me to tell you my rent? You guys will be shocked. But there I live in a quite of a very, not those high things. I just live in for those who know me, know what I'm talking about. Now, the point is, let's even use this example. Let's even say I pay this amount of money for my rent. Okay? Now, the point is, first of all, you calculate your rent, how much you pay per month. You remember there's something that you people subscribe to, and you are told that pay. You see, when you pay the rent, you don't own the home, but there is something that you can rent to own. That goes by. You rent to own, whereby you're doing that continually payment, but in looking forward in one day to own it. Now, see, once you calculate the rent, now you ask yourself, instead of going ahead and sacrificing this 1.5 million, building a structure that obviously one day you will demolish it to build quite of a decent whatever the home, instead of having that what we call the instant gratification, you can delay it. By doing what? Instead of having this money going the property, going the land, the way and building, you can take this, and this is what I did, and this is what I told him to do. You take this amount of money, throw it in something that is giving you a continuous income. Because we know one thing, rent here in Kenya, we don't pay per year, we pay per month. So you need something that is giving you continuous income, okay? So you take this money, throw it in something like an MMF, not even something like an MMF. Here in Kenya is MMF, my friend. That's why I always talk about MMF like forever. And I'm still going to talk about it as far as the God gives me the strength and this opportunity and platform. And gives you me as you're my viewer, okay? Now, you throw this MMF into, or rather you throw this money into that particular MMF. And by the way, come on, did you like the video? Come on, go ahead and like the video. It does not cost you anything. Make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you leave a comment on the comment section. Yeah, I'm simply waiting you to just hit that like button and subscribe if you have not. Thank you. Now, you throw this amount of money, and in MMF Kenya, they give you even 17% of that amount of money, even 16, 15. Let's just talk with as little as 14. Let's even talk about 13 anyway. Let's just talk about 13%. So if you throw 1 million, and this is what I did, you throw 1 million out there, with 13% of a million gives you like 130K per what? Per month. You win. Now, here remember we have 2.5, we have another 1 million. You throw another one, gives you another 100 and what? 30,000 if you're getting what? A 13%. Now we have another baby called 500K. Of course, you get half of this, which is like 65K. So you're having 130, 260 plus 69. Let's just even call it 300K. That's what you're getting. Okay, that's what you are getting at the end of the month. So if you take this 300K, divide it by 12, because a year is made up of 12. How much are you getting per month? Okay, for those who have quick mathematics, how much are you getting per month? Because if you say 20,000, that's what you're getting per month. 20,000, that's gonna be 240,000. So you are getting apps of 20,000. Let's talk about 23,000-ish around there. So if you're getting, let's say 23, of course I know it's not 23, I've not done the calculations, you can do it, 300,000, divide this and whatever. Let's even say, okay, for God's sake, let's even say you're getting, you only get the 240,000 per month, per year, out of the money that you invest out there. Let's even say they are giving you even 11% out there. So you get this 240,000 divided by 12, you have yourself 20,000. You're paying your rent 13,500. Okay, so if you're paying 13,500, so you are remaining with something like 6,500. Guess what happened? This one you throw it to your rent, okay, and then the 60,000 you plow it back to investment. You plow it back. You just take it back. You just take it back for it to grow, and also you continue doing what you did for you to get what? The 2.5. Guess what happens now? If you say you had contributed for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or even 5 years or even 6, whatever the period of time you took to accumulate this, continue doing that. Just do what you call the delayed gratification, and whatever now you are getting, and I want you to see the bigger picture here, whatever now you are getting to accumulate this 2.5, you are throwing it to a money market fund or into an investment, plus the 6,500 the 2.5 million is giving you, and of course they are paying you the rent. So quote unquote, you aren't paying any rent because you are doing nothing to get this 20K per month. So obviously, if it took you 5 years to get this 2.5 million, you're gonna take lesser time. Why? The money that you're contributing fresh from where you used to get it for you to invest, it is still continuing and you're getting returns out of it, plus the 6,500 on top of exactly that. You can just imagine what happens then. So probably you're gonna take maybe say 3 years for you to accumulate this, and guess how much you're gonna end up with? More money, of course. And of course, when the rent is being paid, guess what happens now? That amount of money that you're paying for your rent, guess what it goes now? You throw it where? You throw it for that particular investment. Probably we are looking forward into having, if maybe you took 5 years to accumulate this, maybe in a period of 3 or 2.5 years or half of that period of time, you're going to get this amount of money. Now you can think or conceptualize getting the property. And probably you don't go for the 1 million one. Go for the 1.5 million one, which is closer to a city. And once you do that, then take your time. You can actually build in this manner, okay? If building is the ultimate goal that you're having, okay, then you can be like, okay, the first year I'm gonna concentrate on buying the building materials like the sand, you know, the stones and what have you, you know, some the metal and the bars and whatever that is needed. The second year I'm gonna talk about the interior, where I'm gonna set aside money for the interior doors. I'm gonna set money for the kitchen. I'm gonna set blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? The third year now, when you embark on getting the money for the labor, the what have you, by the time now you clock the third year, because you have the material for starting the building, now you start building, and by the time now you're clocking the fourth year or the fifth year, you're not only building a place where you can call just a home, but indeed you're building quite of a presentable thing. And guess what you're doing? You are not doing that because this asset that you're acquiring, it is not generating any income. Actually, it's a liability, okay? But you're having an investment somewhere that is giving you some returns and the income as you progress. You see, this issue of, you know, haste, being in haste of acquisition of a home, owning a home, where you're not even, you know, fit financially and what have you, just try to make sure that at least you get your finances right, all right? And that's why I tell my peers and my friends, you know what, you guys go ahead and hurry building and whatever. For me, I've gone ahead and do this. But I understand one thing, you're watching this video and you do not have the 2.5 million. What exactly do you do? Fine and good, and thank you. Let me explain. Oops, let me say you do not have that 2.5 million with you right now. How exactly do you then achieve that particular point? The first thing I told you guys is that calculate how much you're paying for your rent. If you realize that you're paying your rent, say 10,000 per month, then you ask yourself, how much do I need to pump into an investment for it to give me not even approximately, we are not approximating, we know exactly, for it to give us at least 10,000 for the purposes of us paying our rent. You see, if you have, for instance, if you have 1 million, in your investment, the return that you get out of it, say you use the same concept of MMF, you're gonna get yourself 10 to 13,000 per month. Okay, you're gonna get 10 to 13,000 per month. Okay, now that means you need at least 1 million in your investment for you to be able to pay this rent. Now, listen here. You remember when you went to look for that house and you were so happy because it's that particular place. Now, the moment you realize that you need way much amount of money, then it means you only cost this by yourself. If you're paying rent for 2,000, you only need to have like 200,000 for you in an investment to pay that rent comfortably. So the bigger the house you are living in, of course, guess what? It's you who did exactly that. You need more investment or you need more money into that particular investment. Now, here we are. So you're gonna go ahead. I'm assuming the businesses do not exist, of which they do exist. If you wanna go the business way, you can. But of course, know that comes with some risk and what have you. Now, the point is, you already know I need 1 million by my side for me to invest, for me to get this at least 10,000 for my returns. Now, you ask yourself, how much do I save right now as we speak? Oh, you're able to save 10,000. Fine, amazing, no problem. So, okay, you're saving equivalent to that what you're paying your rent. Amazing, I love that. So, you see, now you pump in that cash into a investment, say an MMF, continuously. At the end of the year, you're going to have yourself how much? 120K plus the interest of, say, 13% out of that. Then you're going to ask yourself, for how long are you going to commit yourself in contributing that? And for example, let's say you invest this 120,000 by the time we end the year, and of course 100,000 per year, that gives you approximately 14,000 as an interest. So 14,000, guess what, has already paid you at least a rent for 1 month. And then the second year you achieve maybe a rent for 1.6 months there or something close to 2 months. Guess what, the more you invest, the more years you invest, the more you're buying off the months for you not to pay the rent. Did I lose you along the way? Okay, fine. Let me say this slowly way. Let's say, for example, you reach your first target of 1 year of 120,000. Subject this money to 13%. Let's say you get like approximately 14,000, okay? Per year, not per month. 14,000. So 14,000 you're paying rent per month, and it's 10,000. So the reality is, even let's say you get this money on January 31st. So by the time now you're coming tomorrow, the next day on the 1st of Jan, or where you needed to pay your rent, you have the interest of 14,000. Guess what happened now? You have bought off, or you bought off that particular month that you don't have to pay the rent. So you can actually take the 14,000, get the 10 out of it, pay the rent you left with 4, throw it in there. Then you do that continually. And guess what happens now? Now, the next year you do the same. You keep on buying off the months that you don't have to pay the rent. Of course, it's gonna take you time, because everything and anything takes time. And this is why I usually rub shoulders with the young guys, because they just need a, a press of a button somewhere, and then boom, they're not paying the rent, and what have you? No, listen, you have to take time. And by the way, okay, fine. You'll be like, oh my God, it's taking a lot of time. Let me ask a question. See, you're contributing 10,000 and you want to own a home. Two things. You either go the mortgage way, where you paid for the next 30 years. Maybe the interest rate is 13, 12, whatever the percentage it is. And then obviously, that's going to be a long period of time. What if you were to contribute that amount of money in an MMF for the next 30 years? I'm just thinking out loud anyway, okay? It doesn't have to be 30, I'm just thinking out loud. Or maybe say you don't want to go the mortgage way, you're going to save by yourself for the purpose of acquisition of a land and for you to build. But don't speak the language of you borrowing to buy the land to build a home. That is a wrong move. Are we together? Because this home that you're building, it's an asset, yes, I don't deny, but it's an asset that does not contribute anything. Actually, it takes money from your pocket. That's why we call it liability. You have to understand that. Well, I know this is that one topic about owning a home and investing and owning a land that is very emotive. Probably I'm going to have some guys roasting me on the comment section, but we're going to try the best as we can. We have to sanitize these streets of the investment. Anyway, this information was never shared with us, when we were, in high school or when university, whatever the level that you actually managed to reach. Even with our parents, they never taught us these things. So we can try and learn it in the hard way. It is what it is. This is Good Just Speaking. In case you need any personal guidance on how you can invest, it doesn't have to be MMF, various areas of investment. My number is already in the description of this particular video. You can grab it, shoot me a call, let's talk business. For now, it's a goodbye, but don't forget, leave me a comment on the comment section. For now, it's a goodbye. See you there.